What do you think is the most important thing that you learned working?
Take your time.
Take your time and hire a realtor. I mean, definitely hire a realtor, because you kind of just kept everything together for us and you walked us through the process. I mean, you were there from start to finish. So anybody that is looking to buy your home, whether it be your first home or second or third home, just hire a realtor.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the dsmSOLD Team Podcast, Your Real Estate Experience Matters. I'm your host and your friend, Ryan Rolfe, with the dsmSOLD team at Keller Williams Legacy Group here in Des Moines, Iowa. Our podcast talks about stories of previous clients, which they can share with the public. Their stories talks about their journey through the client experience, and how they went through the process of purchasing their house and what that experience was for them. These experiences are worth being shared, and we want to learn from our clients how we can continue providing the same red carpet 5-star experience and making it even better for future clients, because we hope that we'll see them many times in the future as they continue on their real estate journey. So welcome to the dsmSOLD Team Podcast, Your Real Estate Experience Matters, where we want our clients to have a stellar experience that will be an inspiration for all. Today's episode, we are going to talk about the real estate experience and the lessons learned with Jarod and Jarod, two amazing past clients and friends of ours. And we'll discuss the ins and outs of home buying and their experience, and be sure to listen to all the way through to learn their top tips for you if you're looking to buy or sell. So Jarod and Jarod, it's so great to have you with us. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. How have you been? It's been a little bit, and you've been doing some work on the house.
It's busy.
Busy, very, very busy, yes.
And now we decided to puppy into this whole mess.
It definitely looks different, and it's amazing.
Yes. The first time we walked through the doors of this house, we were like, what are we doing? But now that we've been here for a while, we love it. I mean, the home's great. It's been fun. We've been busy. We just got a puppy yesterday, so that's exciting.
Oh, I saw that. That's so exciting. So you have two now then, right?
Yes, 2 dogs and 2 cats. They're all trying to learn how to like each other at the moment.
Awesome. Well, that is so exciting, and I'm sure they're loving the space.
Absolutely.
All that it brings to them, all the fun hiding places and whatnot. Well, good. It is so great catching up with you, and we're super excited to have you as part of the podcast. So before purchasing this home, what were your expectations, or what were you expecting before starting the home buying journey?
Well, I think I expected it to be not as competitive as it was. I think that's one of the things we learned going into the current market was when a new listing popped up, it was just like you had to be on it. And if, you kind of, I don't want to say we missed out, but you just really had to kind of be on top of those listings and just knowing like when to get your showings. And so something good pops up, it's going to go real quick. So I think that was kind of one of the expectations that we had, was that it would be a little simpler than that. But overall, I think it was just a good learning experience for us as well. Just because we got to, experience it, and we just kind of learned how the market works, and it was really educational. And you did a great job with explaining the whole process from start to finish. I remember the first call we did with you, and you went through that slideshow with us, and that was very helpful.
Yay.
So yeah. So you set some really good expectations, but I think personally, we just kind of thought, we're going to go look at a couple houses, and it's going to be that. And I think we looked at 28, I think 28 houses later.
I wasn't even counting. We found the right one though.
We did find the right place.
The perfect place, and so glad that you get to turn it into your home. And it's such a transformation from what it was when we did the final walkthrough. So that's awesome. What do you wish somebody had told you before starting the home buying journey? And you maybe already covered that a little bit with the way that our markets.
Yeah, I guess maybe like a better understanding of the market. But I feel like you did do a pretty good job at that. I think for us personally, the whole thing happened so quick. we were told that we weren't going to be able to, qualify for a certain loan. So in our minds, we were just, trying to save up for that down payment, and we weren't really, I guess, prepared. And then when it finally happened, when we first got that pre-approval from the bank, it was like, oh my gosh, it's happening. And, it was right around the holidays and everything. And we were just so busy with everything. I don't think we had time to prepare. So we kind of just dove right into it. But again, I think that, that call that we had with you set some expectations, but I don't think we really just knew much about the Des Moines market. We heard from, our friends and, other people, but overall the market was just kind of unknown to us because we're newer to the city. So.
Right. Well, it's definitely,
yeah.
definitely interesting. That's for sure. With
Yeah.
rates going up, you guys definitely bought at a good time with rates going up. And yet we've actually had a lot of clients that are using similar loan to what you guys did through Green State and other credit unions to help them keep that rate low, and still be able to get the most bang for their buck and fit within the payment that's gonna fit them best, rather than, oh, we're pre-approved up to this, let's go shopping for this amount when really we only want this. First, you've talked a little bit about this too, but how would you describe your experience working with the team?
Overall, I think it was a good experience. I mean, it honestly felt like, especially once we, finally decided on the home, forgive the puppy, he's excited. Once we got settled on the home, I feel like you guys were great at not stressing us.
No, you answered all the questions we had.
Yeah, you definitely answered all the questions we had. And
then working with Green State and stuff like that, everyone just in general was super easy to work with. And
Yeah.
great questions. We would at least get a response back in like 24 hours.
Yeah, but it didn't really feel like we were doing a lot. We definitely felt like, we were confident that your team was handling everything on your side. And, if you guys needed something, it was just a quick text or email and we responded. I mean, it definitely took the stress away from the whole buying process, because we always thought it was going to be a major headache, but you guys made it a breeze.
I think the biggest headache was just trying to pick a house.
Yes.
That was our thing.
That's tough. But you definitely, you settled on one that's perfect. And I love everything you've done with it so far. And I know you've got so many other plans as well. So super exciting. A lot to do.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. But it's good though. It's exciting because we, decided we wanted a fixer-upper, and we got a fixer-upper, and
good one.
A really good fixer-upper.
Right.
All the big things were done here. So we're really happy with it. It's been a good
That's
good
the
home.
best part about that when we're going through houses, hey, we've got, the bones are good. The rest doesn't matter. I make fun of that. Well, I shouldn't say, I don't know if I'm making fun of that song or anyway, I bring that up all the time because really, if the bones are good, you've got good mechanicals, good electrical, good roof, the basement foundation is good, all of that big stuff. When we look at that, which I know I always want to make sure that we're pointing that out and educating you around that, because at the end of the day, yeah, you could do something like what you did where you don't have to worry about any of that. You get to put money into one, making it worth more, making it a better investment, and making it the way that you want it.
Absolutely.
Awesome. What was the best part about, I guess, your experience? What was one thing that you're like, oh, this was really awesome, that in working through the process with us, with the lender, just in general?
Well, I think overall, and I kind of just talked about it a little bit. I just felt like the best thing about it was just not feeling that there's no pressure, for one. I mean, you taking us out to showings, sometimes when you think about buying a house, you come across those realtors who are they're trying to make a commission and they're just trying to sell a home. And it never felt like that with you. Like, it always felt like we walked into a house and you knew exactly what to look for. You kind of just let us wonder and look at the space. And if we had questions, you were there to answer our questions and, help us out. But overall, it was just a very low pressure situation for us, which I think that it was nice. And I feel like, a lot of people can appreciate that because, you're making a big decision it's a major purchase.
Right. Yeah. You definitely don't want to be pushed into something that, is not right for you. I see articles all the time about, especially with this market, buyers that are having buyer's remorse after they bought because they had to go, X amount of dollars above ask, yada, yada, yada. And they just, who knows what happened there. Maybe they were the ones that were just like, hey, we need to get something, or the agent was pressuring them. But we want it to be we want you to have the time to ask questions, to look as much or as little as you need. And we want to make sure that we're asking you the right questions so that when we find that house, we're getting you to really picture yourself in it so that when you get in, it's, you're not calling us up and saying, hey, we hate it. Like, what can we do? Because sorry, you bought it. Kind of hard at that point, right? So, well, good. Well, thank you for sharing that. What would you say is one thing that you wish we would have done or that we could do better?
Honestly, I think you guys did everything great. I don't think there was anything that I feel like you guys could have done better. I think maybe just one little piece of feedback with trying to schedule some of the showings. I know you were out of town in Hawaii on vacation, very jealous. We're still a little jealous about that, by the way. But we did our best with it. I mean, I know there was some people on the team that you were trying to help while you were out and everything. And there was just a little bit of a delay there with that, but that was like, what, 2 days? And it wasn't that big of a deal. And I think we were just really excited because we were seeing listings, and, it was also at the very beginning of our process. So we were just trying to like really cram in as much as possible. But I think overall, I mean, everything was great. I wouldn't have anything else to like say, really. It was all a good experience, except for
It was just timing.
just the timing. But again, that was more on us because we were just so excited.
We were like ready to go.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and that's understandable. So, I think I have to put myself in the client's shoes. One, because it helps me be better for you. It helps us be better for you. And that's when we bring agents like Samantha on, and I'm super excited. We are having a new agent join us. His name is Dylan. So he's going to jump in and be helping buyers and helping with showings as we continue to help our clients, really kind of just for that reason, because we don't want you to feel like you have to wait. And it's super exciting. Like, hey, you're buying a house, whether it's your first house, your third house, an investment property, you want to, and in this market, which in time it's going to change, but at the same time, there's always going to be people that need to see houses. We want to make sure that we're doing what we can to get you and to get them in. So I definitely appreciate that, and appreciate the excitement too, and knowing that kind of the background of that too, because it's a super exciting process. And I think we as agents often can forget that and think, oh my gosh, I have to go show houses, or like, because you're really excited, like you want to go see things, and so we want to do our best to accommodate that. So thank you for sharing that, and thank you for all of the amazing information and feedback that you shared. So to kind of wrap things up, as a buyer, what was the biggest surprise on your journey to buying a home?
I think just kind of what we kind of keep touching on a little bit is just how the market worked. I think that was the biggest surprise. I remember one specifically we went and looked at, and there was like 3 other showings right behind it. And I guess we never expected that. I think that was kind of a surprise, just to see how, crazy the market can get here and the showings can get. But
it still was nice that we kind of got what we wanted, really.
Yeah.
Even through all the craziness and stuff like that, I got what I want, and you got what you wanted out of this. It just needed to, we kind of saw the potential, right? You can't go for the prettiest. Sometimes the
Especially
one that
in
is
this
the
market.
greatest. Well, yeah. I think you can look in older homes like we were and stuff, and you kind of look at the foundation and what they've done and stuff like that, and what you can do to it, like we have.
Right. And they have to be the right person too. Some people, they don't like the idea of, taking on the projects that you have, which look amazing, and give it the touch that you guys want. So it's all about understanding too, like, okay, what do we need to do to find that right place? And with the market, with rates going up and things, that should help future buyers. So you guys, there's never a bad time to buy. It really, there isn't, because the market you buy in is usually the market you sell in, and so on and so forth, right? So definitely, yeah, that's I can imagine that's surprising. Like, oh, there's I always preface in this market, hey, there's other people that are like might not be the only ones there, or we may have somebody coming in right after us, just because it's kind of unique. It's like a every house is an open house almost. And then in the off chance that we're the only ones in the house, that's kind of nice too.
Right.
What do you think is the most important thing that you learned working?
Take your time.
Take your time and hire a realtor. I mean, definitely hire a realtor, because you kind of just kept everything together for us and you walked us through the process. I mean, you were there from start to finish. So anybody that is looking to buy your home, whether it be your first home or second or third home, just hire a realtor. It just makes it so much easier.
A realtor that throws questions back at you.
Yeah, a realtor who challenges you, and kind of like you did. We walk into places and you always ask us, can you imagine yourself living here? Because once the shininess of it kind of goes away, you have to really think about, well, is this functional? Do you have adequate closet space,
garage space.
Yes, garage space. But no, I just hire a realtor. Right? That's probably the biggest piece of advice I think we could give.
Ask questions.
And ask questions.
Do not ever be afraid to ask a question. That's the biggest thing.
Well, that's
call a question, email a question.
Yeah. Well, and that's what we're here for. Our job is to answer. I often say we're your real estate tour guide, because that's what we're doing. We're answering questions about the process, and asking the right questions to get you to think about things. And then we're helping you, we're searching as well as you are to find the houses that are the right fit, so we can send them directly to you, doing whatever we can to get you in and to make it a win-win for everyone.
Right.
Awesome. Well, my final question is, what would you tell a friend or a family member? And maybe you've kind of you've given advice already, but what would you tell a friend or a family member, somebody that's like, hey, I'm starting this process? Like, what is the first thing that they should do, or what's something that they should really be thinking about?
They should make lists.
Make a list of what you want.
Yeah. What you can compromise with, what you absolutely cannot compromise with. Yeah, I think that's at least a good starting point. And then find a realtor who will listen.
You're supposed to find Ryan. Just kidding.
Yes.
Ryan, get Ryan.
No, for real though. I mean, we never really knew. I mean,
we had an idea of what we wanted.
Right. We had an idea of what we were kind of looking for, and then kind of evolved throughout the process. But I think, what coming to like the home buying process, it's always been in the back of our head, we're going to buy a home. This is going to be our first home. And we wanted to do it here in Des Moines, kind of getting into the community and meeting new people. And, we were referred to you by, our friends. And I think that was just
listening to their experience.
Kind of sold us on it. It was like, okay, well, yeah, awesome. They had a really positive experience, and now we have a positive experience. And if we have people that are looking, I mean, we know a really good realtor now. So
well, thank you. It was my pleasure and our pleasure to help you through the process. We're so grateful for you, and for having the opportunity to help you and really put our expertise to work. I got into this business not knowing a ton about real estate. I bought a house, but I think it's really important to, take the time to ask the questions, and to really know what you're getting into, right? It's a big experience. It's a worthwhile experience, because real estate is a great investment, whether you're going to own one home your entire life, or, own one home and then sell it to buy something different down the road, or, maybe even look into investment properties in the future. But it's all about the right questions, making sure you know what to look for, and keeping an eye on the fact that not every house, you walk into and like now is going to look like yours does, right? It looks great, but also the mechanicals are great. The roof's great. That big stuff is done. I can't tell you how many times we walk into homes and, oh my gosh, the wow factor is there, but you get into the basement and the furnace looks like it's from 1902. I don't even know if they had furnaces then. So like 1950, we'll say. and you just like, okay, this is going to go south really quick. So you have some decisions to make. Do you want to pay, X amount of dollars for a new furnace that doesn't add value, or would you rather paint and do some updates that will add value and you'll get joy out of, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for sharing your experience and your feedback and your advice, because we are always looking to do whatever we can to make the experience that much better for our clients. And so thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you taking the time to participate in our podcast. So thanks everyone for listening. And thank you, Jarod and Jarod, for joining us today and for sharing your real estate experience. Join us again for our next episode of the dsmSOLD Team Podcast, Your Real Estate Experience Matters. And don't forget to follow us on social media accounts, YouTube, and the like. We're on TikTok. And you can see this full video on any social media platform. And we always post these out to YouTube as well. So thanks, everyone. And we'll see you next time.